Hey there, guys. So I'm out here on the Rio Grande in New Mexico. I'm going to make a little tracking video for you, or more like track identification video. Had a bunch of dudes ask me, how do you start getting into tracking, where to start. And other than book recommendations, my best advice is to find tracks and just attempt to follow them. That's literally, tracking is years of experience. I'm not an expert. I'm probably a beginner still in the realm of things. But I'm out here, base of the Robdelo Mountains in New Mexico, BLM land. This is the Rio. So you can see behind me, I brought a number of different types of shoes. Obviously, they're all shoes that I own. I don't have any more modern, like Merrells or Solomons or Keens or anything like that. All the shoes I own are, well, you'll see. But yeah, I'm out here. I am kitted up just for posterity of the video of showing this really here in the Rio, but also the area around it. It's very green, as you can see. It's very green with this. It's tan. It's a sand tan, but it's got a gray hue to it, and that's why I'm wearing the shorts. Also, there's a lot of trails. It's 50-50. Good to follow trail, bad to follow trail. My opinion, especially something like this, especially once the Rio starts actually flowing. It's flowing more north. It hasn't made its way down. I think there might be a little trickle on the far side over there. But yeah, so this is probably one of the few times you'll ever see me with a pistol in my kit, with my kit. Got an extra mag up here. I like these little molly straps on the RRV. You can put the knife up here, a compass pouch, tourniquet pouch, extra mag pouch. Like I've said, I'm not a big pistol guy. Never really had a use for it. My use for a pistol is self-defense. That's it, right? Here, because you're following these really small trails along the edge, or you'd maybe be up there, up there, coming out, but then coming back down, and it's pretty thick. Where an AR, a rifle, right? So just for posterity, my rifle isn't loaded. It's downloaded. It's condition 3, solely because where the river is, there's a scrub on either side. That's all BLM land, but there is a road and not commercial, private property, residences along there. There's like this kind of clear-cut area right behind where the camera is, and then the road, and then residential. So I'm being courteous. The rifle isn't loaded. That way people wouldn't freak out. Pistol, on the other hand, well, yeah. I'm also gonna be using my flashlight to show the prints better. You can see how sunny it is today. If I can get up closer with the flashlight and just hold it, show the prints. So that's the main reason why I have this. So I'll go over the different types of footwear, shoes, setup I have. Brought a rake, raked up the area over here, so that it was all an even playing field. I did barefoot walking, barefoot running, sock walking, what everybody likes to call Jesus sandals, which in second and third world countries all over the world, South America, Asia, Southeast Asia, Africa, probably even Europe, they wear Jesus sandal type sandals that are made out of old car tires. The Viet Cong wore those, the Vietnamese wore those during the Vietnam War, and it was a tire tread instead of a shoe tread. So I have my Teva Jesus sandals, just to show, because they're kind of all synonymously the same thing. It's a big paddle shape, flat. Whether it has like the Teva tread or a tire tread, but the shape is universally generally the same size. The next, so Jesus sandals walking. The next is my canvas sneakers, Chinese liberation shoes. Those are worn all over Asia and Africa due to not their popularity, but their availability and their cheapness. I think I bought them for $20 6 years ago, and they're still running. So I'd have them walking as a representation of just kind of like a basic sneaker, not a New Balance, not something like that, but a basic like third world sneaker. The next one is my pair of my Danners, my combat hikers. I have it walking, all of it's walking like regular speed, just a walk. What you would do maybe patrolling, just like a basic walk, right? Danners, walking, and then the other one is a fast walk underweight with this and a day pack, so underweight. Not much of a difference, but the little minute things, you can tell. I'll show the little things. The next one is my vellies, felts, veltshorts, vellies, whatever you want to call them, from South Africa. The reason I'm using those because the Chinese shoes don't show an arch. There's no real arch. It's just a flat print or full print. You'll see the combat hikers, they show an arch because they're a hiking type boot, a combat type boot. The Feldschultz, they have a crepe sole, which Sperry's moccasins, like commercially produced moccasins, all those kind of shoes have that type of sole. It's a soleless sole. It's not ginger, but it's a soleless sole. But it has an arch, and it shows a predominant arch in the print. And then the last one is my newer. I'm wearing my older set of waxy boots. It's my newer set of waxy boots, walking and then running to show what I mean, you'll be able to see the tread for most of them, but like what an actual anti-tracking no tread looks like, just where it's just a print. So yeah, so I got those set up for you. I'm gonna bring you guys over there in a minute. What was I gonna say? Yeah, well, so like I said, the main reason I'm doing this is just to give a basic, like, this is what a walking print looks like, and this is what a running print looks like. Unshod and unshod, and also in your stocking feet. Because, yeah, how many instances, how many war memoirs, war stories you hear where guys take off their boots so they don't leave a track and walking around their socks, or they take off their boots, they lose their boots, they have to E&E, dumbass takes their boots off, no boots, right? And they're walking around with socks. So there's that. That's why I have the socks. Yeah. So I'm just, trying to give, because a lot of dudes too, guys got kit and fucking rifles and going out shooting and hiking, but they don't practice, or they don't know how, or have never had the foundation to start. So I'm just trying to do this maybe as a foundation for you guys, just to get an inkling as to what to look for. That's really what it is, what to look for. So yeah, let me bring you guys over there. All right, so I turn my flashlight on. Let's see how it shows up on the ground. Yeah, it shows up a little bit. All right, so here's the first one. This is FootPrint's walking. You can see I barely have an arch, but you can see a little bit of the arch, the toes pushing the dirt back. And I was walking just normal, I walk heel to toe. I'm not one of those, ball of the foot bouncers. So you can see all the weight being pushed down. And then there's a really good one right there. You can see the toes, the outline of the toes, and you can see the heel, the light arch. I have pretty flat feet. So that is the barefoot walking. Then, now also the other thing too is I raked this up, right? And it was semi-damp ground, right? But now it's kind of dried out in the sun. So we'll go back here. Here's this is the toes right there. And then pushed off. Toes, you see how the dirt's getting pushed back? Not a lot of heel. And then we get here, it got softer. There's the toes. No heel print at all. You just see that kicked up. Same thing here. Toes, no heel. Toes, no heel. Starting to slow down a little bit. A little bit of heel. See how it even looks. So there's the Barefoot print. Look how long it looks. And look how squished that looks together because of the speed in which I was traveling. And then here, last print, I was slowing down. Whole foot came down, soft sand, but you can see how it kind of pushed it out this way. All right, so that's barefoot walking, barefoot running. And then let's get to the stocking foot. So this is a really good, yeah, there you go, you can see it in the camera. So look, there's the footprint, right? You can barely see the toes, but it still shows up the toes. See that? And my socks are pretty thin. They're not like big, thick wool socks. So that would totally, like, see here, this one, you can barely make out the toes right there. Yeah, and that's why I wore it, because it's not as predominant. There's barefoot, and there's with socks on, right? Barefoot with socks on. You see it kind of, the toes slowly disappear. Sorry if my voice sounds a little raspy. I've had a little bit of a cough, tickle, and congestion the last couple days. So I'm sorry if I sound off. All right, so that's stocking feet. Next one, Jesus sandals. So I'm not even gonna have to get really close to it because they're all the same. Flashlight pointed on it. So there you go. Just left, right, left. See how big the paddle is? I say paddle, but the actual print itself, it looks like a paddle. And that's what most flat sandals, flip-flops look like. There you go. Just walking. General pace is 1, 2, 1. So my pace is 5 feet apart. So from here, from my heel here to the tip of my toe right there, it's approximately 5.5 feet. And that's how you pace things out. That'll be a different video, but that's my normal walking speed, is like a pace speed. So yeah, there you go. You can see the tread. You can see the Tiva, see the tread. If it was a pair of tire sandals, you would see some type of tire tread, whether it be whether it be like a motocross type tire, like a bicycle type tire, motorcycle type tire, or a regular, sedan tire. So next is the Chinese Liberation shoes. Plain, third world, cheap. Canvas sneakers, no real arch. You can see a little bit of the tread right there. Normal walking. You can see where the tread kind of narrowed. The tread narrows. It's not as wide. Look at that footprint. The Chinese Liberation shoe. And then the sandal. It's because the sandal is a flat piece of rubber, plastic. The sneaker is somewhat shaped. So there you go. That's what the sneaker looks like. Evenly paced, for the most part. So next one, Danner, mountain combat hikers. The most aggressive tread out of all of the shoes I brought out. You can obviously see it right there. Yeah. There's the arch too. You can see the actual arch from the heel to the ball, the front of the sole. And this is just plain walking, right? You can see it's right on the surface. You can also see where it gets in softer ground like that, pushes the sand a little bit. And like I said, there's not much of a difference between this footprint. We'll go back. So that's just the combat hikers walking, and then this is the combat hikers walking with weight. I wouldn't say combat weight, but the sides of, especially where the ground gets softer, the sides of the print are just a little deeper in to the sand on the sides, on the edge, because of the weight. It also depends on the ground you're traveling on, but this is just a good representation. This is the deepest one. Starts getting softer here compared to here. It's not as deep. That's the walking no weight, and then you can see how deep that goes with the weight. Weight dispersion, I guess. Weight displacement. Here we go. All right, so next one is the Fellschutz, the Fellies, with a crepe sole. Here, crepe sole. Aggressive hiking sole. So yeah, you see they have the little bit of the arch, the heel that makes the arch on the print. Yeah, you can see it. There's the separation between the heel and the front, the ball of the print. See, that doesn't even that didn't even touch the ground right there. See that? Can you see that? Front, back, nothing of the shoe touched. Same here. Most of them, yeah. So it's not a high heel, obviously, but it's higher than most of the shoes I have. That's a good indicator too, to what the type of shoe somebody's wearing. When it has a predominantly aggressive heel and ball print separated. So, all right, so there's that one. And then let's do the waxies, anti-tracking, walking. You can see it makes a pretty predominant print, but there's no sole, there's no tread to it. And one of the tricks that the recce's used to do, I don't know if they still do it, but one of the stories is a lot of the guys would wear a pair of boots a size up or two or a size down to make different size treads, because a lot of natives, we're talking about the South African recce's, a lot of African natives have not as big feet as us big Westerners. So if they see a track, this is a size 10, they see this next to a couple freaking little size 8 or 9s, they're obviously going to be able to tell that it's a Mzunga, it's a white guy. So if they wore a size smaller, could potentially make them think that it's one of their own, or if they wore sizes bigger, as an intimidation factor, like, Jesus, that's a fucking big guy. I don't know what book I read that from. One of the recce books. But yeah, so there you go. Same thing with the stocking feet. Sometimes they would go up a couple sizes or down a size, or a lot of them would walk around potentially, especially around a kraal, barefoot. Or a kraal is like a small African village in southern Africa. They would walk around barefoot, or in their socks, so it wouldn't leave a tread. So there's a little tidbit there. And then here is the waxies running. Pretty different than the feet, obviously, with the barefoot, because you can obviously see the toes and everything. But there it is. Pretty wide gait. There's the hole right there. Hole right there. Hole right there. So yeah, this is just to show you the different treads. That's all this is. It's just to show you what the different treads and what like walking and running looks like. If you guys like it, let me know. I could maybe go into more depth about, obviously, about like stuff like pacing or something like that. Hold on, stand by. Yeah, so there you go. like I said, just the basics. You always got to start at the basics. But different types of tread, different speeds, different prints. Now I wish, because up a little, some mud over there, but it's like really sticky mud. So you don't really get a good print because your foot sticks in it and it comes out and it's all stuck to the boot. But yeah, I just wish there was, I had like a forested leafed area. The hardest to track is up there. Once you get out of this, I mean, it's still sandy. You see, if you can see the clarity, the rocks up there. It is, once you get on rocks like that, like when I'm over in the Franklins, outside of a wash, outside of a run, it's damn near impossible to find prints in dry, rocky desert, because rocks will move. So, someone walks across that and a rock rolls down, comes down to the base of this, and you start tracking that rock the way it came down, and it'll throw you off. Completely throw you off your trail, off your spoor. So yeah, this is one of the longest videos I've made. Apologize, but I was trying to make it interesting. Beautiful day out. Took my time to set that up, so I felt like sharing that with you guys. So yeah, I'm glad you guys watched. What else? Is there anything else? Did the different gaits, the different prints. Like I said, this is just informational. This is, and in my opinion too, on a lot of things. Not the size of the print or the gait, but my choice of footwear. This is my daily footwear. If I'm not wearing waxies, I'm wearing one of those other, it hasn't been hot enough. It's just about hot enough to wear the sandals. But yeah, tracking, it takes time. It takes a lot of time to get used to it. And this is how I started in Maine, on the beaches, at the lakes, following the duck prints, following the cat prints, the coyote prints. And then especially in the winter in the snow, it's like in my trailing video, it's a hell of a lot easier to trail in the snow than anything else, snow and sand. But it has to be fresh like this. It has to be like after a rain, because all around here, there's dozens and dozens of tracks and tread. And unless you knew you were following that trail that day, you gotta be an expert. I am not at all. So, there's your foundation. If you guys got any questions, want any more ideas, any different types of, not necessarily kit, but any other different types of prints that can think of, anything like that, just message me, let me know. I'd love to do it. Maybe come out here again, maybe by some mountains where there's for sure sand, a wash, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll get you next time, something cool, something interesting. All right.